everybody, it's Ernie from Pop and Culture. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. Right now Halloween's like, I don't know, like 5, 6, almost like a week away, something like that. It's on Monday, and today is Tuesday, so about a week away. With that going on, I figured I'd make a video for Halloween, but before I jump into that, I just want to mention, we still need to do, I guess, like kind of a review. I mean, we've been having reviews on the site for the New 52 with DC, but I kind of wanted to, it might be just me this time, it depends on who I could grab to do a video with me, talking about the second week. We're really late on it, but at least with that, we could kind of jump into the other issues we're into now, which most of them are in issue 2. So with that going on, it's going to be on pause for a second, but we'll be back with that. As of right now, I just figured, hey, I might as well make something with Halloween, and I figured what's better than Halloween, right? Well, what's better than Halloween than staying at home watching scary movies? Now, when it comes to scary movies, there's a bunch of different ways you go about it. I'm not the king of scary movies. I don't really like scary movies because I like being scared. But I kind of feel like I have an opinion of different circumstances, how to make a scary movie work, or a Halloween, I should say, movie. Not so much even a scary movie, but like a Halloween movie. So I'm just going to give you maybe, I guess you could call it tips or suggestions of different ways you could watch Halloween movies for different reasonings. For instance, if you're with a bunch of friends, maybe, I recommend, or even with a date, Shaun of the Dead, something like that. I love Shaun of the Dead. It's kind of Pegs in it. That's kind of what got him launched in America. If you catch that, it's a great movie. It's funny. It's got horror. It's good if you want to have a date that maybe doesn't want to be too scared. Some funny parts, but it's still kind of a little bit of a love story in there. Same with Zombieland. A lot of people like Zombieland with Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg, I think, something like that. But anyways, and Emma Stone, they're in that movie. Another movie where it's zombies. It's some scary parts, but it's got a lot of humor in it. So that's really good for a bunch of friends just hanging out that don't really care to get scared. That'd be something probably I would hop in maybe. I have my own personal picks, but I'll jump into that at the end. That's, I think, is something good for if you have a girl over, you want to get a little scared, but you still want her to be in the mood to maybe make out afterwards because you don't want her to be scared stiff, you know? Always think of, if you maybe got to babysit some kids or something, what can you put in? That's a good movie, Halloween related. I always think Nightmare Before Christmas is good for kids. That's great if you're stuck with like little brothers, sisters, your own kids, nieces, nephews, younger cousins, or whatever it may be. It's a good movie for them. It deals with Halloween and still entertaining to you. I personally still have a soft spot for Hocus Pocus. It's just something that brings me back to when I was young, and it was a fun movie. Even to this day, we see it on and we'll stop and watch it. So that's a movie that could deal with Halloween and still deal with the kids. Other circumstances, maybe if you want to just go with the classic route. If you want to go the classic route, I would tell people go with Shining. It's scary. It's freaky. People I see argue that it's not that scary, but I mean, most of these things that make you scared is what's in your head, and that's what I think the best horror films, like some just do it for the shock value, but like movies like that, they got in your head, and that's kind of what will get you more scared watching it. So something like The Shining, or even Chainsaw Massacre, the original one. If you watch the original Chainsaw Massacre, it's disturbing all around. Just how they filmed it, the actors in it, everything was just really, really weird. So I recommend, if you want to go the classic route and want to just bust out something maybe you haven't watched, or if you've watched it before, on Halloween night, you might get a little freaked out, just pop into one of those older ones. But something like that, and you can always go with Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers. Those are all good, but like if you want to, who I picked the top were that they're not as corny, but they're kind of freakier side, would be Shining and Chainsaw Massacre. If you want to go something for like just to scare you, to freak you out, possibly something like Paranormal Activity. People really like that. Movies like that, I'll even try to stay away from because I don't want them getting in my head, screwing me up. But that's what they're there for. If you want to sit there and be petrified, watch something like that. Watch something where it puts you in there and it really freaks you out. I would say The Grudge and Quarantine, but I wouldn't say the American versions. I would say go to the original versions. The Grudge, I believe, is called, it's like J-U-O-N, so I don't know if it's Juon, or that sounds like a racial slur, or I don't know, but that movie is a lot more freakier than the original Grudge. And also, Quarantine's original, I believe it's called Record, but it's R-E-C. I will, in the article, I'll put trailers into these, so if you do have any interest, you can check out what my opinions are. But yeah, these are definitely a lot different, a lot more shocking. You'll be way more freaked out, I think, than the American ones. The American ones still do a good job, but the original ones, if you want to be kind of go a different route, get something foreign, and maybe, impress your friends, go check something like that out. That's really cool. And then other than that, I mean, you go through the classics. You have your friends and your dates, and then you have the ones that scare you stiff. And then there's something that you may just want to watch just because it's Halloween. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a Halloween movie or something that's very, very scary, but something that makes you feel right and like, this is Halloween for me. For me, I have two movies that I really am like that with. The first one would be Seven. Seven's not so much of a horror movie at all. It's about a killer, but it's suspenseful. It's Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt following the deadly sins, the killer that's committing crimes by the deadly sins. Very, very, very well-written movie. Creepy at times. I don't want to say scary, creepy at times, but to me, that just is the kind of movie I want to watch. The tension, the spookiness to it that bugs you. That, to me, I like horror movies that have a great story behind it. So even like people that like the Saws and stuff like that, they're I wouldn't say, oh my god, they're so scary, but they are so good, like, well written. I would say like the first Saw. I didn't really follow into like following of the million Saws they have now, but I know when I watched the first Saw, that is something like, it's very well written. That's kind of what gets me into, wow, like the psychology of it. So Seven's one of mine, and then the other one that I watch, I like to watch on Halloween and have people watch with me, is The Crow. So if anyone knows about The Crow, I'm a huge superhero fan, so he's not necessarily a superhero, but, it's based off a graphic novel, and as a kid, it came out to the movie theaters, and I wasn't allowed to go see it, but my dad would sneak me, once he got to see it, when it was on TV or VHS, when it was at that time, he would sneak me and get to watch some parts, and I was just obsessed with that movie. I say it's kind of Halloween because his murder deals with on Halloween, and we know the whole story with Devil's Night and all that has to deal with that. It's just a really cool story. It's probably, I think, one of the greatest revenge stories out there right now. It's really hard, I think, for Hollywood to make a good revenge story, and it just works. So The Crow's up there with Brandon Lee, his last movie. I'm sure you guys know the whole deal, the whole tragic story of how he died and all that. So there's a lot of history behind that movie, but it's also, I think, a great movie to watch for Halloween. You don't really have to watch all the other Crows if you want to. Some are crappy, some are hit and miss, some are good stories, some are bad acting. But definitely, the first Crow is something you can't miss. So far as, I'm just giving you guys opinions for Halloween. Check out any of those kind of movies. Like I said, I'm going to put some trailers in the article so you can at least see what I'm talking about. Even like the kid ones and stuff like that, I'm not saying these are the best in the world. I'm just saying these are the type of movies that I wouldn't mind seeing in those certain circumstances with friends, with a date, or if I just want to scare myself to death. So hopefully you guys all have a safe Halloween. You guys get to go out, party, be safe, or stay home and watch a movie. Hopefully I helped you guys out, and then we'll get some more videos rolling out to you guys. Everyone be safe. See you guys.